Hello everybody and welcome to Void Wizard. This is pre-release access, so it's not quite out yet. Comes out next month. I've been playing it for a while today. I've been having a pretty good time with it. It is a roguelike first-person shooter where you are a wizard. And the whole big gist of it is you're trying to do loops to kind of go and fight yourself, because that's how we make Void Wizards. So as you can see, I've played it a couple of times. If I go through this loop, I will get an increased score multiplier. That unlocks after the first time you complete a loop. I'm not going to do that, because if I do that, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, and I may not be able to, actually survive long enough to make it to the end and kind of show off, how this goes. So I'm going to try to do that, try to do as good as I can. Make it to the end and just kind of show off some of the stuff that you can experience in the game. The combat is very fast-paced. It is highly enjoyable. It's very catchy. You don't have a lot of enemies variety-wise, which I do wish there was a little bit more variety for the enemies, but for the price of what the game is going to be when it comes out, I don't think you're going to have a problem with it. I don't really need to levitate. Levitate is not something that is going to be useful. I'm going to take the gun. A wizard's, favorite weapon. It's also so far the most powerful weapon I have seen in the game. So if you get lucky and you run into the gun, I definitely recommend taking it. It is a little bit on the slow side, and it takes more mana than any other weapon. However, the damage it does makes it kind of invaluable. Enemy-wise, I would suggest fighting the skeleton first, if you ever see it. Or if you see a skeleton, those are probably one of the first enemies you want to take out, because they do this kind of like sprint dash thing towards you, and they get to you so quickly, which is weird because they've got no muscles. Skeletons that are alive has always been kind of weird. I know I'm playing a game where I'm a wizard, and it's obviously a fantasy game with no real basis on science, but man, it is something that's always been kind of weird to me, because it just doesn't make sense. How does a skeleton move? How does it do anything? I don't know if you ever saw the seventh, oh my god, 2 guns? The seventh voyage of Sinbad. It was amazing. Alright, bring my health back up. I can't buy that just yet. That was not what I meant to do. But now you can see what I mean, the skeletons are just super fast. So you gotta kind of get rid of them pretty quick, unless you have the ability to kind of avoid them through one of your spells. You can get a dash. The dash I don't personally find too useful, but you can get a dash that can help you kind of get out of there. And there's also the levitate, which I didn't use because I don't need it. And somewhere a door has opened, which is the game's way of saying it's time to move on to the next stage, which is super easy to do. We just gotta go to the right room, which is this room, and away we go into the next world, which is the mines. So the thing about the map is you got the brown, different colors, right? So brown means it's a room that you haven't cleared. Light brown is a room that you have cleared, and pink or purple or whatever color that is a room that means it has a wand there for you. This thing is hard to use. I don't know what this is. Ow. Yeah, I'm going to stick with a gun. It looks like it kind of shoots all over the place. There's the dash, which I don't want because I don't find it too useful. I'm not going to take the mana because it doesn't, Doesn't do me any good to take a bunch of mana if I'm already at 100. I'll save it for another time. Like a rainy day, essentially. I like that the game gives you a pretty decent amount of freedom with how you decide to go through the rooms. I say that, but it's not necessarily true. It's going to entirely depend on the setup of the levels as you go through, which the way that you go through the rooms will be different every time you play. Sometimes it will be... sorry, I was concentrating because that was pretty intense. Sometimes it'll be pretty straightforward, and sometimes it will be a lot less straightforward. But I think overall, like, the rooms have a pretty decent amount of variety to them. I feel as though I'm gonna make it through here, but maybe not. I don't know. Like, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I'm gonna be okay. But it's definitely a little bit precarious. Like, I'm a little uncertain. One thing that I've noticed is you cannot clear a room. Like, if you see the gold nugget kind of things, or if you decide to be like, whatever, I'm gonna shoot it, that would be a bad idea. Because once you clear the room, you lose the opportunity to do it, which means you're gonna potentially lose out on a little bit of gold. Not really a huge deal, I guess, but kind of a big deal when you need that gold to buy some stuff. All right, I don't think there's any more health. I don't really need any mana, but I will take this jump height, and I guess I will take this and downstairs, because I can't go any further. Oh yeah, this is it. This is the spot. I've done it. I've succeeded, and I have completed a loop, essentially. I'm sorry, but we lied to you, dang mice. You said there was a Void Wizard, but we lied. One cannot be a Void Wizard without defeating one. We are sorry. There is a way we can create a time paradox. We'll take you back in time and let you defeat your current self. It's either that or go back to the real world. So, I went back in time last time. I don't know what happens if I go to the real world. I want to see what happens. I gotta try it. I want to see what happens. Oh, look at this. I'm so glad I took this way. It's something else. It's very cool. Is this real? Oh, look. It's essentially some credits to look and everything. So it's kind of cool. Well, then what happens? So we just sit here and watch the credits? Just watching the credits, and then I don't know what happens. I'm either going to have to go back to the main menu to try to do it again, or something. So as you can see, like, the game itself looks like it's going to be relatively, short in nature. Like, you'll be able to get through it relatively quick. It is very entertaining, though. It's quite fun. Like, I've been having a kind of a blast with it. Right, so this is almost over. Don't know what's going to happen. Goodbye, credits. Maybe I can go through the TV. Or can I go through the TV? Oh, more additional credits of sorts. I feel like that's me saying that, like I'm trapped inside of the video game, because I am trapped. I would like to get out. Nothing happens if I shoot the TV. Okay, well, I guess we'll go back to the title. I don't really know that there's anything else that's going to go. So I will jump through the loop here. That increases our score. It also will increase, like, the difficulty. Like, there will be a little bit more enemies than there were the first time I came through. And I think that's, like, an effective way of kind of giving you more to play and always giving you kind of, like, this increase of difficulty. The game is really, really catchy. I mean, it's really fast-paced combat. The level design is nice. You're going through the rooms relatively quickly. There's never a time that I've been lost. Except for the first time I played where I was trying to find the door and I didn't realize where the door was. I like the artwork, I like the music. I don't really want the slowdown time, but I'll take it. I really just want guns. I mean, the guns are amazing. The laser is not terrible, but it's certainly not as good as the gun. Like, nothing aside from possibly this explosive really beats the gun. Really dislike the skeletons. Like, I don't think they're bad, you know, enemies or anything. I think they're well designed, but I dislike them because they seem to really be the number one enemies that can kind of injure me. Levitating is not necessary. Yeah, that explosion is pretty decent. Like, it does a lot of damage. Like, I mean, I can get multiple enemies at one time if all goes well. Although, I still really like the gun. I don't know how many other weapons there are in the game. You know, I can only go off the things that I've seen so far. And I definitely really prefer the gun. Alright, well, we've done it. I just gotta go and use some of this money that I have to heal myself. Increase my jump height, because why not? And give myself some gold, or some mana, some more mana. And then we'll go into the next area and see where we go. I might actually make it far enough to run into my Void Wizard self. If I'm lucky. I don't actually know how much... Oh, that takes 5. An explosive shot takes 5 mana. Yeah, I'm gonna have to replace this with something different as soon as possible. because it's just really not sustainable. Slows down time, not something that's been super useful for me. Slows down time again. Wow, that's a disappointing collection of spells this time. And everything's going poorly right now. Oh, come on, you guys. Well, I like to see that, you know, when things start going south for me, they just start to spiral out of control. Alright, I'm not really sure, like, the best way to handle this. Because I walked directly into him, son of a... Alright, well, you know, I've gone through one successful run. I've given you a good idea of kind of what to expect with the game. I personally really like it. I think it's a very fantastic experience. If you go back through the thing, you make it to the end, I guess you'll run into the Void Wizard, and I haven't yet because, honestly, I'm not good enough just yet. Take some more time. I'm probably going to come back and play this again as we get closer to release, just to keep it fresh in people's mind. I'm going to keep it installed, and I'll come back to it again next month, right before it's released. But for now, this is a nice early look at Void Wizard, and I highly recommend it. It's very, very entertaining. It's quite fun. Definitely the highlight of my day so far. Links in the description, and I definitely recommend this.